मोल पर डीएम क्यूब को ग्राम पर डीएम क्यूब में कन्वर्ट करना है तो मल्टीप्लाई बाय मॉलिक्यूलर वेट ऑफ द सॉल्ट, और यू वांट टू कन्वर्ट ग्राम पर डीएम क्यूब इनटू मोल पर डीएम क्यूब डिवाइड बाय मॉलिक्यूलर वेट। बट केएसपी से जो वैल्यू मिलेगी एस की, इट विल बी इन मोल पर डीएम क्यूब। ओके, नाउ लेट अस सॉल्व सम्स ऑन दिस। पहला सम दे रहा हूं मैं, solubility product solubility product of silver bromide that is AgBr is 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 13. 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 13. Calculate its solubility. Calculate its solubility in mole per dm cube and gram per dm cube. Molecular weight of silver bromide is 187.8. 187.8 is given. So let's see how to solve it. You are given solubility product of silver bromide. So silver bromide, silver ion प्लस ब्रोमीन आयन, ये रिएक्शन लिखना पड़ेगा आपको। तो विल कम टू नो कितना सिल्वर आयन है और कितना ब्रोमाइड आयन है। ओके, हाउ मेनी सिल्वर आयंस आर देयर? ओनली वन सिल्वर आयन एंड वन ब्रोमाइड, so concentration here will be S, concentration here will be also S. सपोज दो रहते तो यू विल गेट 2S, अगर तीन रहते तो 3S, तो दोनों में 1 1 है तो SS। KSP is equal to silver ion into bromide ion. KSP is equal to S into S. KSP is equal to S square. Now you are given KSP how much? 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 13 equal to S square. S is equal to square root of 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 13. अब इसका square root लो. To take the square root, the power should be always even, divisible by 2. To take square root, the power should be divisible by 2. तो इसको हम ऐसा लिख सकते हैं 52 into 10 raised to 14. Square root of 52, if you see the log, square root of 52 will be more than 7 and less than 8. So square root of 52 is 7.211. into 10 raised to minus 7, square root of 14, and the unit of this will be mole per dm cube. Whenever you get S from KSP, it is always mole per dm cube. So एक आंसर तो मिल गया. You have got one answer. Now you have to find in gram per dm cube. So 7.211 into 10 raised to minus 7 multiply by 187.8. This answer will be in gram per dm cube. This will be in gram per dm cube. So if you multiply this, you will get the answer. You'll get the answer around 7.211 multiplied by 187.8. It is coming to 1, sorry, 1354.22 into 10 raised to minus 7. So it will be 1.35123 into 10 raised to minus 3 ग्राम पर डीएम क्यूब. हम 4 प्लेस से 1 2 3, तो इधर -7 + 4 तो हो गया -3. So this is in S. So your given solubility product, you can find out solubility. You can find out solubility. Okay. Next, I'm giving you a second question. Solubility of magnesium hydroxide is 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 mole per dm cube. Calculate solubility product of magnesium hydroxide at same temperature. Okay. So the soluble salt here is magnesium hydroxide. It ionizes as Mg plus 2 OH. Your concentration of Mg will be S, concentration of OH will be 2S. Ksp will be equal to Mg into OH the whole square. Ksp is equal to S into 2S the whole square. So it will be S into 4s square, 4s cube. So that is equal to 4 into 2 into 10 raised to minus 4, the whole cube. 4 into 8 into 10 raised to minus 12. So that equal to 32 into 10 raised to minus 12 KSP, which you can write as KSP is equal to 3.2, 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 11. जर डेज गेट बंद कर दे जरा, दरवाजा. Okay. So this was solubility product. Two sums I have done. One from solubility to solubility, one from soluble product to solubility, second from solubility to solubility product. But first thing, you should write the equation, then you write this first reaction, then equation, substitute either KSP or S, and you will get the other things. Okay. Next part, the last part of this chapter, solubility से related है, and that is condition of precipitation. Condition of precipitation. See, all precipitates are sparingly soluble salt. Now, when we mix two solutions, sometimes you get precipitate, other time you don't get precipitate. Take for example, if I have got NaCl solution and I'm mixing with silver nitrate solution, the concentration of NaCl solution is 10 raised to minus 5, and concentration of silver nitrate solution is 10 raised to minus 6. When I mix it, what I'll get? I'll get silver chloride and I'll get NaNO3. This is soluble, but this will be a precipitate, which is shown by down arrow. This is a precipitate. Now question here is, when you mix these two solutions, whether you will get silver chloride precipitate. In short, what is a condition for formation of a precipitate when two solutions are mixed? When you mix two solutions, what is a condition for formation of for formation of a precipitate? We'll take the example here. NaCl का concentration is NaCl का concentration is 10 raised to minus 5. NaCl give you Na plus Cl. इसका 10 raised to minus 5 है. So this also will be 10 raised to minus 5 and this also will be 10 raised to minus 5. दोनों 10 raised to minus 5. Silver nitrate. It will give you silver ion and chloride ion. Sorry, NO3 ion. Concentration of silver nitrate is 10 raised to minus 6. So concentration of silver also will be 10 raised to minus 6, and concentration of NO3 also 10 raised to minus 6. Now when I mix these two solution, I'll get precipitate. Question here, whether the PPT will be formed or not. Let KSP of silver chloride be equal to 10 raised to minus 10. Now when will be a PPT form? See here, to form silver chloride, you require Ag plus and Cl minus, and they form silver chloride, a PPT. Concentration of silver ion into concentration of chloride ion, this is called ionic product. What is called? Ionic product. In short, it is written as IP. सिल्वर क्लोराइड का KSP of silver chloride is 1 into 10 raised to minus 10, and IP is equal to 10 raised to minus 5, 10 raised to minus 6 into 10 raised to minus 5, because silver ion का concentration is 10 raised to minus 6, chloride ion का concentration is 10 raised to minus 5, so it comes to 10 raised to minus 11. So IP of silver chloride is this. Now, what is the condition for a formation of a PPT? A PPT is formed if ionic product of precipitate is greater than KSP of precipitate. Precipitation takes place. Precipitation takes place. If IP of PPT is less than KSP of PPT, no precipitation takes place. No precipitation takes place. And third condition, if IP of precipitate equals to KSP of precipitate, equilibrium exists. तो ये condition है. That means on mixing two solution, if the ionic product of the precipitate is greater than the solubility product of the precipitate, precipitation will take place. If IP of the precipitate is less than solubility, no precipitation will take place. And if IP of the precipitate equals to solubility product of precipitate, equilibrium exists. So these are the condition for precipitate. I have shown you one example where I have seen that IP of precipitate, a silver chloride, is greater than KSP of silver chloride. ये कितना है? 10 raised to minus, oh sorry, I made mistake. IP of the precipitate is less than KSP, minus 11 और ये minus 10 है. तो minus 11 is less than minus 10. Therefore, silver chloride will not precipitate. इन इधर प्रेसिपिटेट नहीं होगा, बिकॉज 10⁻11 is less than 10⁻10, therefore no precipitation takes place. Okay. No precipitation takes place. Okay, so this was the condition for precipitation. We'll do one sum and then I'll start with a new chapter. क्यों नहीं आ रहा बाबा? Okay, the sum is okay. Sum क्या है? If 20 cm cube 20 cm cube of 0.05 molar barium nitrate mixed with 20 cm cube of 20 cm cube of 0.020 molar sodium fluoride will barium fluoride precipitate? Will barium fluoride precipitate? क्या बेरियम फ्लोराइड का प्रेसिपिटेट होगा? KSP of barium fluoride, KSP of barium fluoride is equal to 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 6. तो देखो, you are mixing 20 ml or 20 cm cube of 0.05 molar barium nitrate with 20 ml of 0.02 molar sodium fluoride. On mixing, you will get barium fluoride PPT. अभी क्वेश्चन है कि ये बनेगा या नहीं. जब ये दो सॉल्यूशन को मिक्स करेंगे 20 प्लस 20, तो वॉल्यूम क्या हो जाएगा 40 cm3. तो ये जो concentration, this concentration is in 20 cm3. You have to find out what will be the concentration in 40 cm3. You have to find out what will be the concentration in 40 cm3. So concentration of barium nitrate will be 20 into 0.05 divided by total volume. उसका वॉल्यूम मल्टीप्लाई बाय कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, तो ये होगा 0.025 मोलर. So this is concentration of barium nitrate. तो बेरियम का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन क्या रहेगा 0.025. ये बेरियम का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन होगा. उसी तरह सोडियम फ्लोराइड कॉन्सेंट्रेशन 20 into 0.02 divided by 40. So concentration of sodium fluoride will be 2. Sorry. It'll be 0.01. Concentration of fluoride ion also will be 0.01. Okay. So now you know the concentration of barium and so on. Now barium ion will combine. Barium fluoride is formed from barium ion plus 2 fluoride ion. Barium fluoride, barium and 2 fluoride ion. So ionic product of barium fluoride is barium ion into fluoride ion whole square. क्योंकि एक मॉलिक्यूल में दो फ्लोरीन है इसलिए स्क्वायर किया. So that is equal to 0.025 into 0.01 whole square. So it comes to 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 2 and 10 raised to minus 2 into square. So it is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 2 into 10 raised to minus 4. So it is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 6. So this is ionic product of barium fluoride. What is Ksp of barium fluoride? Is 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 6. It is given. कौन बड़ा है? Ksp is greater than ionic product. No. IP is greater than ionic product. IP is greater than Ksp. This is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 is greater than 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 6. Therefore, barium fluoride will be precipitated. Will be precipitated. उसका precipitate form होगा. Okay, so this was the sum, and with this we have ended the ionic equilibrium chapter. Now I am going to start new chapter, and that is thermodynamics. Okay. So I'm starting with the new chapter. I'll just get a glass of water and start. Okay. Now I'm starting with chemical thermodynamics. Chemical thermodynamics. Okay. What is thermodynamics? What is thermodynamics? Before studying chemical thermodynamics, let us see the meaning of only thermodynamics. We know energy. Energy means capacity to do work. We also know energy can neither be created nor destroyed. But it can be converted from one form to another form. There are different forms of energy: kinetic energy, potential energy, electrical energy, chemical energy, magnetic energy, heat energy, and so on. बहुत सारे energies है. And all this energy can be converted from one form to another form. Now question is, can we measure energy? क्या हम एनर्जी कितनी है वो मेजर कर सकते हैं? आंसर इज नो. वी कैन नॉट मेजर एनर्जी. you can calculate energy, but you cannot measure energy. As you can measure your mass by standing on the weight, and you can measure how much kg is your body weight. That is a measurement. But you cannot measure energy, you cannot measure kinetic energy, you cannot measure potential energy by putting any object in a instrument and finding by kitni energy hai. No, you cannot you measure. You can calculate energy, but you cannot measure energy. There is no way by of measuring energy, but you can calculate energy. But there is one energy which can be measured, and that is heat energy. Heat energy can be measured by using कैलोरीमीटर, कैलोरीमेट्री. इसको हम मेजर कर सकते हैं. So as heat energy can be measured, what we can do, we can convert. If you want to measure any energy, you convert that energy into heat energy. Suppose you want to find out kinetic energy of a fan. Kinetic energy of fan is converted into heat energy. You can measure this energy, like x आया. Therefore kinetic energy also is x, because energy can neither be created nor it can be lost, destroyed. तो जितनी हीट एनर्जी रहेगी उतनी काइनेटिक एनर्जी रहेगी. So if you want to measure any energy, you have to first convert that energy into heat energy. All energy convert into heat energy. All energy convert into heat energy. All energy convert into heat energy. Okay. So if you want to convert any energy, so if you want to measure any energy, you have to convert that energy into heat energy. And you can measure heat energy, and that heat energy will be equal to kinetic energy. In short, what we are that you are able to measure energy not directly but indirectly. To measure energy, there you have to convert that energy into heat energy. एंड जो हीट एनर्जी की वैल्यू होगी वही वो एनर्जी होगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, फैन इज मूविंग, तो मूव हो रहा है तो उसके काइनेटिक एनर्जी रहेगी. एंड दैट काइनेटिक एनर्जी, थोड़ी देर के बाद फैन गर्म हो जाता है. थोड़ी देर के बाद फैन गर्म हो जाता है, उसका कितना हीट निकली हो देखो, और जो हीट निकली दैट इज इक्वल टू काइनेटिक एनर्जी. नाउ, so that means there is some relation between various forms of energy and heat energy, and this study of this is called as thermodynamics. So the study of various forms of energy and heat energy, study of relation between various forms of energy and heat energy is called thermodynamics. The study of relation between various form of energy and heat energy is called thermodynamic. Study of study of relation between various forms of energies and heat energy is called as thermodynamic. Thermodynamic is in the physics, thermodynamic in the chemistry. We are going to study chemical thermodynamics. Now, what is chemical thermodynamics? We are going to study chemical thermodynamics. What is that chemical thermodynamics? Whenever reaction takes place, reactant is converted into product. When the reaction takes place, reactant is converted into product. Energy is given out or energy is absorbed. So during a chemical reaction, energy is given out or energy is absorbed. In short, there is change in the energy. There is change in the energy. Therefore, the study of energy changes taking place, the study of energy changes taking place during a chemical reaction is called chemical thermodynamics. The study of energy changes taking place during a chemical reaction is called as chemical thermodynamics. So this is the definition of chemical thermodynamics. And whatever energy changes taking place during a chemical reaction is called as chemical thermodynamics. There are limitations of chemical thermodynamics. Limitation of thermodynamics. Number one, first limitation. Thermodynamic study deals with initial state and the final state and not on path. That means thermodynamic only studies what was the initial and what is the final. How that initial is converted into final, it doesn't study that. Suppose you have got ice, 1 kg of ice, and it is converted into water, 1 kg. Thermodynamics will say ice कितना है 1 kg, water कितना है 1 kg. How much heat is given out, that you will find out. But how? It doesn't study how. You can convert ice into water by increasing temperature. You can convert ice into water by increasing pressure. So thermodynamic does not study the process of converting. It only sees how much it is given out, how much it is absorbed, irrespective of the path. That means it doesn't study how the process has been carried. It only studies how much is the heat given out, how much is the heat absorbed. Okay. So this is the first limitation. Second limitation, thermodynamic study only macroscopic property. Only macroscopic properties. What are those macroscopic property? Pressure, volume, temperature, energy, enthalpy, entropy, all you'll be studying. This is U means energy, enthalpy, the S means entropy, pressure, volume, temperature, are all macroscopic property. So thermodynamic study only macroscope property. It doesn't study the microscopic property. Microscopic property means structure of atom, structure of molecule. These are the microscopic property. It only study the major macroscopic property which can be measured. So these are the limitations of thermodynamics. Now, next part what we are going to study in this chapter is terminology. We are going to see terminology. We are going to study terminology. Terminology means certain terms which you are going to use in this chapter. जो पहला टर्म जो हमेशा यूज होने वाला है वो है सिस्टम. So let us see what you understand by word system. What is the system? When you are in a laboratory, chemistry laboratory, you are doing experiment. Suppose you are doing volumetric experiment. So when you are doing volumetric experiment, what you are observing? You are observing the burette reading. You are observing the color change in the conical flask. But you don't look what is around you, surrounding you. तुम बाजू वाले का रीडिंग नहीं लेते हो, बाजू वाले का कलर नहीं देखते हो. You see your own color change. You see the reading in your burette. So in a chemical laboratory, when you are in the chemical laboratory, a chemical laboratory is a universe. And you are looking and you are observing the burette, conical flask, color in the burette, color in the conical flask. So the burette and the conical flask is your system. इतना बड़ा लैब है, बट आप सिर्फ यू आर ऑब्जर्विंग ओनली द ब्यूरेट एंड द कोनिकल फ्लास्क, सो दैट बिकम्स योर सिस्टम. And the remaining part of the lab is your surrounding. The remaining part of the lab is your surrounding. Second example I can give you. You are in 12th standard now. Your three subjects are important: physics, chemistry, and maths if you're going for engineering, or physics, chemistry, and biology if you're going for medical. So this three subject is your universe. At present, you are studying chemistry. You are not studying biology. You are not studying physics. You are not studying maths. So you are studying at present for 1.5 hour of our 2 hours only chemistry. So chemistry is your system. Remaining other subjects are your surrounding. So what is a system? A part of a universe which is under thermodynamic study is called a system. A part of a universe which is under thermodynamic study is called a system. Then what is a surrounding? The portion of universe other than system is called surrounding. Is called surrounding. A portion of universe other than system is called surrounding. One more point. Boundary. An imaginary line between system and surrounding is called boundary. An imaginary line between system and surrounding is called boundary. So what is a system? A part of the universe which is under thermodynamic study is called as a system. Remaining portion of the universe is called as a surrounding. And the line which divide the system and the surrounding is called as a boundary. Next, types of system. There are three types of system. First, open system. दूसरा closed system. तीसरा isolated system. Closed system, open system, closed system, isolated system. Okay. What is an open system? A system which can exchange matter and energy with the surrounding is called open system. A system which can exchange matter and energy with the surrounding is called open system. Second, closed system. A system which can exchange only energy with the system, with the surrounding, is called closed system. Third, isolated system. A system which can neither exchange energy nor matter with surrounding is called isolated system. Okay, let us see. If you have a vessel containing hot water, if a vessel containing hot water, it is a hot water, open vessel. If a vessel containing hot water but it is closed, इसके ऊपर कवर डाला हुआ, then you have a thermos flask, and there is a hot water. हॉट वाटर, तीनों में हॉट वाटर है, but this is no energy is given out, no energy can come out in. ना एनर्जी जा सकती है ना एनर्जी आ सकती है, ना वाटर वेपर बाहर आ सकता है ना वाटर वेपर अंदर जा सकता है. सो दिस इज आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम. Your energy can come out, energy can go inside, but water vapor cannot come out. Water vapor नहीं आ सकता है. So this is closed system. And ये vapors भी आ सकते हैं बाहर, एनर्जी भी आ सकती है बाहर, एनर्जी अंदर जा सकती. So it is open system. So in open system, there is a exchange of energy as well as matter with the surrounding. Closed system, there is exchange of energy, and in isolated system, there is no exchange of energy and matter with the surrounding. So that was the type of system and the type of system. Next, what we are going to see is properties of system. Properties of system. System has two type of properties. First, intensive property. and second, extensive property. What is intensive and extensive property? The property of the system which does not depend upon amount of matter in the system is called as intensive property. The property of the system which does not depend upon amount of matter in the system is called as the intensive property. Property of system which is independent of amount of system of amount of matter in a system is called intensive property. Example, boiling point. Boiling point of water will be 100 whether you take 100 ml of water or you take 100 liter of water. Whether you take 10 ml of water or you take 100 ml of water, the point of water will be same. So boiling point of does not depend upon quantity of matter. So boiling point is an intensive property. Boiling point, melting point, density. Density of a water will remain same whether you take 10 ml of water or you take 100 ml of water. So MP, BP, density, refractive index, temperature, molar heat capacity, specific heat capacity. These are all intensive property. They are independent of amount of matter. Extensive property. The property of the system which depends upon amount of matter present in the system. Amount of matter present in the system, such properties are called as extensive properties. Example, which is which depends upon amount of matter in system. Example, mass. Mo is a matter, mo is a mass. Mo is a matter, mo is a mass. Energy, which is denoted as U. Mo is a matter, mo is a energy. Enthalpy, this also is a extensive property. Volume is an extensive property. Heat capacity is an extensive property. See, molar heat capacity is intensive property and heat capacity is extensive property. So these are the properties which are dependent upon amount of matter. These are dependent upon amount of matter. This is independent of. So there are two types of properties, intensive and extensive. Next, we are going to see state of the system? What is state of the system? What is state of the system? A system has macroscopic property, macroscopic property like pressure, volume, temperature, composition, energy, and this have some values. इसकी कुछ values होती. Let that value be P1, V1, T1, C1, U1. So we say the system is in state 1. If one of this value pressure changes to P2, the volume will also change to V2. Temperature will also change to T2. We say now system has changed to state 2. System has changed to state 2. So this pressure, volume, temperature, composition, these are all variables. These are all variables. यानी इनकी वैल्यू फिक्स नहीं होती. इनकी वैल्यू फिक्स नहीं होती. तो व्हाट इज द स्टेट ऑफ द सिस्टम? What is the state of the system? The set of variable which decide the state of system is called state of system. A set of variable which decide the state of system is called as a state of system. If one of the variable changes, we say that system has changed state. We say the system has changed its state. Okay, so that is a state of system. Next, state function. What is a state function? ओके, इसको अगर डिफाइन करें तो द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द सिस्टम which depends upon the initial and the final state of the system is called state of system. The property of the system which depends upon initial and the final state of the system is called state of system. Oh, sorry, is called state function. For example, if you are on the ground floor, this is first floor, this is second floor, you are third floor, you are fourth floor, and is a fifth floor. You have come from the ground floor, you have gone to fourth floor. There are two ways. Either you go by steps, staircase, or you use a lift. Whether you have gone from lift or you have gone through staircase, the distance of the fourth floor, the height of the fourth floor from the ground floor is fixed. Height is fixed. So height, distance of the fourth floor from the ground floor is same, irrespective we are use staircase or your lift. Some will travel by lift, some will go by staircase. लेकिन सब जब when they come on the fourth floor, their height from the ground floor is same. Therefore, your height does not depend upon how you have come. Height depends upon where you were and where you are. Okay, where you were. Or suppose you are going on to a mandir which is on top of the hill. This is a mandir. आप ऐसे भी जा सकते हो, or you can go straight. लेकिन मंदिर का हाइट नीचे से फिक्स है. So there are some properties of the system which depends upon the initial state and the final state, but not upon the path. Such property are called as state function. They are called as state function. Which are those? Energy, enthalpy, pressure, enthalpy, pressure, volume. These are all state function. They depends upon the initial state and a final state. There are two properties which are not state function. One is Q, heat, and other is work. These two are not state function. Work and Q are not state function. They are called as a path function. Work depend upon the path. Heat also depends upon the path. They are not state function. बाकी जितने प्रॉपर्टीज है सब स्टेट फंक्शंस है. तो ये याद रखना, विच आर द नॉट स्टेट फंक्शन, दे आर पाथ फंक्शन, एंड दोज आर हीट एंड वर्क आर द पाथ फंक्शन. बाकी के सब स्टेट फंक्शन. नेक्स्ट, thermodynamic equilibrium. Thermodynamic equilibrium. What is a thermodynamic equilibrium? A system is said to be in thermodynamic equilibrium when all its properties, all its macroscopic property, all its macroscopic property remain constant with respect to time. एंड सिस्टम की जितने भी मैक्रोस्कोपिक प्रॉपर्टी वो टाइम के साथ चेंज नहीं होती, कांस्टेंट रहती, देन वी से सिस्टम इज इन thermodynamic equilibrium. What is macroscopic property? यानी सिस्टम का प्रेशर, वॉल्यूम, टेम्परेचर, एनर्जी, एंथैल्पी, एंट्रोपी, ये सब प्रॉपर्टी फिक्स रह जाती, चेंज नहीं होती, कांस्टेंट रहती. सो वी से दैट द सिस्टम इज इन thermodynamic equilibrium. Okay, there are three types of thermodynamic equilibrium. Number one, thermal equilibrium. Number two, mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium. Number three, chemical equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium means everything is changing but temperature is constant. Thermal equilibrium. सिस्टम जिसमें सब चेंज हो रहा है लेकिन टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट है, सो विद वी से द सिस्टम इज इन थर्मल इक्विलिब्रियम. Mechanical equilibrium means everything is changing but pressure is constant. We say system is in mechanical equilibrium. And chemical equilibrium, everything is changes but concentration is constant. Then we say the system is in chemical equilibrium. Okay, so this is a thermal or thermodynamic equilibrium. When all are constant, thermodynamic. खाली टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट, थर्मल इक्विलिब्रियम. प्रेशर कांस्टेंट, बाकी सब चेंज हो रहा है, मैकेनिकल. इफ कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कांस्टेंट, बाकी सब चेंज हो रहा है, देन वी से द सिस्टम इज इन केमिकल इक्विलिब्रियम. ओके, ओके मैडम, टाइम कितने बजे तक है? हेलो हेलो, स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं?
यस
टाइम कितने बजे तक है
सर 11:30
11?
हाँ सर बोलिए।
टाइम कितने बजे तक आज?
सर आपको लेना है तो आप ले सकते हो, आगे कंटिन्यू कर सकते हो।
ले सकता हूँ ना?
हाँ सर।
लेकिन मुझे उन्होंने 11:30 का टाइम दिया था, इसने बोला.
जी जी सर जी।
तो मैं और हाफ एन आवर लेता हूँ.
हाँ सर, आप 12 बजे तक ले लीजिए।
हाँ, 12 बजे तक मैं ले लेता हूँ.
हाँ हाँ सर हाँ.
Okay, now next what we are going to do is process. What is a process? A path followed by a system. Path followed by a system to change from one state to another state. एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट जाने के लिए, अरे ये स्टेट महाराष्ट्र गोवा नहीं है, एक स्टेट से दूसरी स्टेट जाना है, तो जो रास्ता हम अपनाते हैं, जो पाथ हम फॉलो करते हैं, उस पाथ को क्या कहते हैं? प्रोसेस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई हैव गॉट आइस, आई वांट टू कन्वर्ट इनटू वाटर. इफ आई टेल टू स्टूडेंट्स हाउ विल कन्वर्ट आइस इनटू वाटर, एक बच्चा बोलेगा आई विल इंक्रीज द टेम्परेचर. टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज करेगा तो वाटर आइस वाटर में कन्वर्ट होगा डेफिनेटली। दूसरा बोलेगा नहीं सर मैं प्रेशर इंक्रीज करूंगा, वो भी राइट है। इफ यू इंक्रीज द प्रेशर ऑफ द आइस इट विल कन्वर्ट इनटू वाटर, बिकॉज प्रेशर इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू टेम्परेचर। प्रेशर इंक्रीज करोगे तो टेम्परेचर भी बढ़ जाएगा। सो एक बच्चा प्रेशर से अप्लाई करके आइस को वाटर में करता है, दूसरा बच्चा टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज करता है और आइस को वाटर में कन्वर्ट करता है। दोनों का पाथ अलग है, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ प्रोसेस। This is called as a process. A path followed by a system to change from one state to another state. आइस सॉलिड है, वो कौन से कन्वर्ट में जाता है? लिक्विड में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है। तो एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में जाने के लिए जो पाथ फॉलो होता है, दैट पाथ इज कॉल्ड एज अ प्रोसेस। वी आर गोइंग टू सी सम प्रोसेसेस। फर्स्ट, आइसोथर्मल प्रोसेस। What is isothermal process? A process which is carried out at constant temperature is called isothermal process. A process which is carried out at constant temperature is called as isothermal process. ऐसा का प्रोसेस देखा आपने? टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट है, सिस्टम एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है। Have you come across? System is changing from one state to another state, but the temperature is constant. And ऐसे प्रोसेस को कहते हैं isothermal process. I'll give you the example. Very, you are known to it. If you have a beaker containing water, and if you heat it, temperature will go on rising. ये thermometer है, and the temperature become 100, water will convert into vapor. आप हीट करते जाओ, water will convert into vapor, temperature नहीं बढ़ेगा. So this is boiling. When a liquid is boiled, the liquid convert into vapor, but the temperature remain constant. कब तक? जब तक पूरा लिक्विड वेपर में कन्वर्ट नहीं होता. So boiling is an example of isothermal process. Any liquid you boil, आप घर में भी you can try, वेसल में पानी गर्म करते हो, पानी बॉईल होता है, टेम्परेचर देखो 100, और 10 मिनट बॉईल करो, टेम्परेचर देखो 100, टेम्परेचर नहीं कांस्टेंट, बढ़ता ही नहीं, 100 ही रहता है, क्योंकि वाटर का बॉइलिंग पॉइंट 100 है. फिर भी आप मम्मी को बोलते अरे मम्मी और गर्म होने दो, बाहर बहुत ठंड है. लेकिन पानी का टेम्परेचर 100 के ऊपर जाएगा ही नहीं, लेकिन पानी वेपर में कन्वर्ट होते जाएगा, एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में जा रहा है, फ्रॉम लिक्विड टू वेपर, बट द टेम्परेचर रिमेन कांस्टेंट. ये कब तक होगा? जब तक पूरा का पूरा पानी उड़ने जाएगा. Second example I can give you. If we take ice, आइस का टेम्परेचर 0 है, आपने 100 ग्राम आइस लिया, आइस कन्वर्ट इनटू वेपर, दिखता है ना, आइस से वेपर निकलता है, लिक्विड में कन्वर्ट होगा. टेम्परेचर 0 ही रहेगा। जब तक पूरा का पूरा आइस वेपर में कन्वर्ट नहीं होता है लिक्विड में, तब तक टेम्परेचर 0 ही रहेगा। When all ice convert into liquid, then the temperature will start rising. So melting is the isothermal process. Boiling is an isothermal process. तुम्हारा बॉडी का टेम्परेचर कितना है? 37 डिग्री सेल्सियस। कितना प्रोसेस अंदर हो रहा है? रेस्पिरेशन हो रहा है, राइट, डाइजेशन हो रहा है, एक्सक्रीशन हो रहा है, सर्कुलेशन हो रहा है, लेकिन बॉडी का टेम्परेचर 37 के ऊपर होगा ही नहीं, अनलेस कुछ बीमारी आई तो। सो योर बॉडी इज अ बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल ऑफ आइसोथर्मल प्रोसेस. All process which are taking in our body are at constant temperature, that is 37 degrees Celsius. So a process which is carried out at constant temperature is called as isothermal process. Okay. Now I'm asking you one question. जब पानी बॉईल होता है टेम्परेचर 100 हो जाता है, फिर भी हम बॉईल करते हैं, तो वो हीट कहाँ जाती है? Where that heat is going? पानी बॉईल 100 होता है, where that heat is going?
Surrounding.
Yes, surrounding. So in isothermal process, in order to keep the temperature constant, the heat energy is given out. Energy is given out or energy is absorbed. वो कैसे? जब ठंड ज्यादा रहती, बाहर टेम्परेचर 15 डिग्री सेल्सियस रहता है, हमारा बॉडी का टेम्परेचर 15 होता है? नहीं। क्यों नहीं होता है? हम वुलन क्लोथ पहनते हैं, हम पंखा बंद करते हैं, हम बहुत सारा खाते हैं, राइट, एंड वी कीप द टेम्परेचर, वी एब्जॉर्ब हीट. हम ये लगाते, फायर लगाते, हीटर लगाते, एंड टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज करते एंड हीट को एब्जॉर्ब करते. जब गर्मी का मौसम आता है, बाहर टेम्परेचर 40 होता है, हमारा बॉडी का टेम्परेचर 40 नहीं होता है. हम हीट को इवॉल्व होता है हमारा बॉडी में से, उसको हम बोलते हैं प्रेस्पिरेशन. पसीना छुटता है, हमारा बॉडी में से हीट निकलते हैं. So our body either absorb heat or it give out heat in order to keep the temperature constant. So in isothermal process, heat is either given out or absorbed in order to keep the temperature constant. So we can say in this process, energy is exchanged with the surrounding. To keep temperature constant. C point. इधर टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट रहता है. इनिशियल टेम्परेचर T1 is equal to final temperature T2. Therefore, change in temperature T2 minus T1 is equal to 0. U1 is equal to U2. U is directly proportional to T. U means internal energy is directly proportional to T. If temperature is constant, energy is also constant. Therefore, delta U is U2 minus U1 is also 0. So in isothermal process, delta U is 0. There is no change in the energy. हमारी एनर्जी कांस्टेंट रहती है. इसलिए एसी में काम करने से आदमी थकता नहीं है. वी ऑलवेज कीप द टेम्परेचर 24 AC, और तुम 8 घंटा काम करो, 10 घंटा काम करो, तुम्हारी एनर्जी कम नहीं होगी, अकॉर्डिंग टू थर्मोडायनेमिक. according to thermodynamics. Because if temperature is constant, the system की energy constant रहती, and there is no change in energy, delta U is zero. This is a proof that you can get maximum, your energy will not be lost if you work at constant temperature. And this is possible if you're working in a AC room, air conditioned room, जिसका temperature 24 रखा है, which is an ideal temperature for our body. So people working in AC at 24 degrees Celsius will not get tired because the energy remain constant. According to thermal, this is a proof I have given. Point D, ये प्रोसेस कौन से सिस्टम में हो सकता है? This process can take place in open system. This process can take place in closed system. But this process cannot take place in isolated system. क्यों? कि इस प्रोसेस में एनर्जी को देना है और ले भी सकते हैं. You can give energy, you can take energy, which is not possible in isolated system. But this is possible in closed and open system. So we can say this process is not carried out in isolated system. Okay, so these are the 4 points for isothermal process. Now I am taking the second process, adiabatic process. There are 5 processes which you are going to study. 6 process. First, second process is adiabatic process. A process in which neither heat is absorbed nor evolved. Is called adiabatic process. Process in which neither heat is absorbed nor evolved is called as adiabatic process. This process is exactly opposite to isothermal. देखो, isothermal में heat is either absorbed or evolved. इसमें heat is neither absorbed nor evolved. याद आता है कोई सा प्रोसेस जिसमें ना हीट एब्जॉर्ब हो रही ना इवॉल्व हो रही, लेकिन प्रोसेस हो रहा है, यानी सिस्टम एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है. I'll give you. If you take a thermos flask, बहुत से लोग को आदत होता है काम पे जाते हैं तो थर्मस फ्लास्क में चाय लेके जाते हैं, कॉफी लेके जाते हैं. उनको घर की चाय या घर की कॉफी बहुत पसंद, तो इधर वो थर्मस फ्लास्क में चाय या कॉफी लेके जाते हैं. तो ये आदमी गरम चाय लेके जा रहा है, गरम गरम चाय डाल देता है थर्मस फ्लास्क में और उसको बंद कर देता है. ऑफिस में जाता है, 2 घंटा काम करता है, बोलता है चाय पीऊंगा. वो थर्मस फ्लास्क खोलता है, चाय लेता है, लेकिन इतना गर्म नहीं रहता है जितना वो मॉर्निंग में डाला हुआ रहता है. बिकॉज ये क्लोज आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम है, ना एनर्जी जा रही ना अंदर अंदर बाहर आ रही है, लेकिन अंदर प्रोसेस हो रहा है. जब गर्म चाय थर्मस फ्लास्क में डालते हैं, देयर इज अंदर प्रोसेस हो रहा है. देयर इज अ प्रोसेस गोइंग ऑन. व्हाट इज दैट प्रोसेस? इवेपोरेशन. There is evaporation. यानी चाय का पानी इवेपोरेट हो रहा है, फिर ऊपर जाके वो कैप पर जाके ठंडा हो जाता है और लिक्विड बनता है, दैट इज कंडेंसेशन. तो थर्मस फ्लास्क में दो काम हो रहे हैं, देयर इज इवेपोरेशन एज वेल एज कंडेंसेशन. जब थर्मस फ्लास्क ओपन करते तो हमको वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स दिखते हैं एंड देयर इज एन इवेपोरेशन. ओके, तो ये इवेपोरेशन के लिए जो हीट निकल मिलती है, लगती है, वो कहां से आता है? ये गर्म चाय से आती है. इसका मतलब इसका टेम्परेचर बाद में कम हो जाता है, इसलिए वो चाय बाद में 3 घंटे के बाद चाय पीता है तो वो हॉट टी नहीं रहती, वार्म टी रहती है. So in the thermos flask, though as it is closed, there is no heat going in, there is no heat given out, but inside there is a process going on, that is evaporation and condensation. And इस evaporation and condensation के लिए heat लगती है and वो उसको चाय से मिलती है और चाय का temperature कम हो जाता है. So second point, temperature does not remain constant. Temperature does not remain constant. Temperature changes. T1 is not equal to T2. U1 is not equal to U2. Therefore, delta U is not equal to 0. Delta U is not equal to 0. Adiabatic process. Adiabatic process is always carried out in isolated system. Adiabatic process is always carried out in isolated system. It cannot be carried out in closed system and open system. It can be carried out only in isolated system. So you can get a distinguish between adiabatic process and isothermal process. Isothermal and adiabatic. टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट, मैं शॉर्ट में लिखता हूं, टेम्परेचर चेंजेस. डेल्टा यू इज 0, delta U is not equal to 0. Heat is energy is exchanged with surrounding. Energy is not exchanged with surrounding. And your isolate system not required. Isolate system required. ओके, सो हमने दो टाइप के प्रोसेस देखे. अभी थर्ड प्रोसेस देखेंगे, isobaric process. Isobaric, the process which is carried out at constant pressure is called isobaric process. The process which is carried out at constant pressure is called isobaric process. All the process which you are doing in your laboratory, in your kitchen are isobaric. वो कैसे? हम किचन में खाना बनाते, what is the pressure about in your kitchen? 1 atmosphere. You are doing practicals in your laboratory, you're boiling the solution, you're heating the solution, you're heating the test tube. What is the pressure above it? 1 atmosphere. So all the things which you are doing in your day-to-day life is isobaric. Except what is done in the cooker, pressure cooker. वो isobaric नहीं, हम pressure बढ़ाते उधर. You are increasing the pressure. So isobaric process, the process which is carried out at constant pressure, is called as isobaric process. You should only know what is that definition. Next, isochoric process. The process which is carried out at constant volume is called as isochoric process. At constant volume is called isochoric process. Can you give me example? वॉल्यूम कांस्टेंट है लेकिन सिस्टम चेंज हो रहा है एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में. जैसे ये प्रीवियस केस में प्रेशर कांस्टेंट है, सिस्टम एक स्टेट से दूसरे स्टेट में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, लेकिन इसमें वॉल्यूम कांस्टेंट है एंड सिस्टम इज चेंजिंग फ्रॉम वन स्टेट टू अनदर स्टेट. A process carried out in a closed vessel. जब हम कोई भी क्लोज वेसल में हीट करते, वॉल्यूम तो उतना ही रहता है लेकिन अंदर स्टेट चेंज होता है. इन योर एलपीजी सिलेंडर, वो सिलेंडर का शेप उतना ही है, वॉल्यूम उतना ही है, लेकिन जैसे हम नॉब ओपन करते, वो अंदर का लिक्विड बाहर गैस में कन्वर्ट होता है. When you're opening the knob of the LPG का सिलेंडर का, you start करते नॉब तो लिक्विड गैस में कन्वर्ट होता है. LPG मींस लिक्विफाइड पेट्रोलियम गैस इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू लिक्विफाइड गैस, इनटू गैस. बट द सिलेंडर अंदर क्या रहता है, वॉल्यूम उसका फिक्स रहता है. और एनी प्रोसेस विच इज कैरिड आउट इन अ क्लोज वेसल, वो क्लोज वेसल है तो वेसल का वॉल्यूम फिक्स होता है लेकिन अंदर चेंज होते रहता है. So that is isochoric process. Next, cyclic process. What is cyclic process? Process in which initial state and the final state is same. यानी जहां से स्टार्ट होता है वहीं पर एंड हो जाता है. There is no change in its pressure, there is no change in the volume, and it come back. That means system undergo many changes. Suppose system एक A पर है, वो B के आता है और वापस B से वापस A पर आता है. यानी जहां से स्टार्ट हुआ वहीं पर वापस आया. दैट मीन्स ये इनिशियल स्टेट है और वही फाइनल स्टेट है. सो प्रोसेस अंडरगो नंबर ऑफ चेंजेस and come back to the same state. A process in which system undergo number of changes and come back to the same state is called as a cyclic process. So cyclic process में delta V0. Why? Because V2 is equal to V1. Delta P is 0 because P2 is equal to P1. Delta T is 0 because T2 is equal to T1. So delta U is 0 because U2 is equal to U1. Next, reversible process. What is reversible process? Can anyone give me the definition of reversible process? Yes? Any one of these 22 students are there at present in the class. 21. Anyone can give me definition of reversible process? Yes? What is a reversible process? You have studied it or not? आपके दिमाग में क्या आता है रिवर्सिबल प्रोसेस? No one? Are you there in the class or not?
Yes, sir.
What is reversible process? बोलो बोलो, रॉन्ग भी रहेगा तो चलेगा, खाली तुम्हारा कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर करने का। मुझे मालूम है तुम लोग क्या जवाब देने वाले। I know what you are going to answer. Reversible process.
Sir, the process in which the final product can be converted into the initial product.
Okay, ये आंसर था, and I was expecting the same answer from you. What he said, the process in which reactant is converted into product and the product is converted back into reactant. It is not a reversible process, my boy. This is a reversible chemical reaction. A reactant convert into product and the product is converted back into reactant. It is a reversible chemical reaction, not a process. There is a difference between a process and a reaction. This reversible process is something different. You have not studied yet. And what it is, that I am going to do next time. Right? With this, I end today's lecture. And you can, अरे मैडम है ना कोई? अच्छा, कल मेरा लेक्चर है क्या?
कल इवनिंग में है ना सर?
अच्छा, is it possible to keep in the morning?
By what time?
Around about 10.
1 minute, sir. I'll just check.
Well, check it. First check it. Because evening I am not there. I am not free.
You want around 10 o'clock, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make it.
Is possible? Just announce then accordingly. I'll take at 10 o'clock. Okay?
My previous exam 11:15 ko.
Okay, sir. I'll check it with students and let you know.
Achha, and secondly, I have completed ionic equilibrium. Write it, note there, and I have started with a new chapter, chemical thermodynamics.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So in the afternoon, it won't be possible?
No, I am going to